The complete work of Swami Vivekananda, Volume 5, Section 4, Question and Answers. What should be our attitude to Vedas? What should be our attitude to Vedas? Answer: the Vedas is only the Vedas, that is, only those portions of them which agree with reasons, are to be accepted as authority. Other Shastras, such as Puranas, etc., are only to be accepted so far as they do not go against the Vedas. All the religious thoughts that have come subsequently to the Vedas in the world, in whatever part of it, have been derived from the Vedas. Next question: is the division of time into four yugas astronomically or arbitrary calculations? Is the division of time into four yugas are four yugas astronomically or arbitrarily calculations? Answer: there is no mention of such divisions in the Vedas. They are arbitrary assuming of Puranic times. They are arbitrary assumption of Puranic times. Next question: is the relation between concept and word necessary and immutable or accidental and conventional? Answer: the point is accidentally debatable. It seems that there is necessary relation, but not absolutely so, as appears from the diversity of language. There may be some subtle relation which we are not yet able to detect. What should be the principle to be followed in working within India? Answer: first of all, men should be taught to be practical and physically strong. A dozen of such lions will conquer the world, and not millions of sheep can do so. Secondly, men should not be taught to imitate a personal idea, however great. Then Swamiji went on to speak of the corruption of some of Hindu symbols. He distinguished between the path of knowledge and path of devotion. The former belonged properly to the Aryans and therefore was strict in the selection of adhikaras or adhikaris, that is, qualified aspirants, and the later coming from south or non-Aryan sources made no such distinction. Next question: what part will the Ramakrishna mission take in the regenerating work of India? Answer: from this myth will go out men of character who will delude the world with spirituality. This will be followed by revivals in other lines. Thus, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas will be produced. The Shudras caste will exist no longer, their work being done by the missionaries. The present want of India is the Kshatriya force. Next question: is retrograde reincarnation from the human stage possible? Is retrograde reincarnation from the human stage possible? Answer: yes. Reincarnation depends on karma. Reincarnation depends on karma. If a man accumulates karma, skiing to the beastly nature, he will be drawn thereto. In one of the questions classes in 1898, Swamiji traced image worship to Buddhistic sources. First, there was a Chaitya, second the Supta, and then came the temple of Buddha. Along with it arose the temple of the Hindu deities. Next question: Does the Kundalini really exist in the physical body? Answer. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that the so called lotus of the yogi do not really exist in human body, but that they are created within oneself by yoga powers. Next question. Can a man attain mukti by image worshipping? Answer. Image worship cannot directly give mukti. It may be indirectly cause a help on the way. Image worship condemned should not be condemned with many with many. It prepares the mind from for the realization of Advaita, which alone makes man perfect. Image worship should not be condemned for with many. It prepares the mind for realization of Advaita, which alone makes man perfect. Next question. What should be our highest idea of characters? Answer. Renunciation. How did Buddhism leave the legacy of corruption in India? Answer. The Buddhas tried to make everyone in India a monk or a nun. We cannot expect that from everyone. This leads to gradual relaxation among monks and nuns, and it was also caused by their imitating Tibetan and other barbarous customs in the name of religion. They went to preach in those places and assimilated their corruption and then introduced them into India. Next question. Is Maya without beginning and end? Answer. Maya is eternal, both ways. Taken universally has genius, but it is not eternal individually. Maya is eternal both ways. Taken universally and has genius, but it is non eternal individually. Next question. Brahman and Maya. Brahman and Maya cannot be recognized simultaneously. How could the absolute reality of either be proved as arising out of one or the other? Next answer. Answer. It could be proved only by realization. When one realizes Brahman, for him Maya exists no longer. Just as one's identity of rope is found out, the illusion of serpent comes no more. Next question. What is Maya? Answer. There is only one thing. Call it by any name, matter or spirit. It is difficult or rather impossible to think the one independent of the other. This is Maya or ignorance. Next question. What is Mukti or liberation? Answer. Mukti means eternal freedom. Freedom from the bondage of good and evil. A golden chain is as much as chain has an iron one. Sri Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna used to say that to pick out one thorn which has stuck into the foot, another thorn is requisitioned, and when the thorn is taken out, both are thrown away. So, the bad tendency are to be counter-reacted by the good ones, but after that, the good tendencies have also to be conquered. Next question. Can salvation or mukti be obtained without the grace of God? Answer. Salvation has nothing to do with God. Freedom already is. Next question. What is a proof of the self in us not being the product of the body, etc.? Answer. The ego, like its correlative, non ego, is the product of the body, mind, etc. The only proof of existence of a real self is realization. Next question. Who is the true Jain, or sorry, who is the true Jnani or Gyani, and who is the true Bhakta? The true Jnani or Gyani is he who has deepest love within his heart and at the same time is practically sure of Advaita in his outward relation. And the true Bhakta, that is lover, is he who, realizing his own soul, has identified with the universal soul and thus possesses the true jnana within him, sees or feels for and loves everyone. Of jnana or jnana and bhakti, he who advocates one and denounces the other cannot be either a jnani or a bhakta, but he is a thief and a cheat. Next question. Why should a man serve Ishwar? Answer. If you once admit that there is such a thing as Ishwar, that is God, you have numerous occasions to serve him. Service to the Lord means, according to all the scriptural authorities, remembrance, smaran. If you believe in the existence of God, you will be reminded of Him at every step of your life. Is Mayavada, is Mayavada differ from Vad? Mayavad is different from Advaitavad. Is Mayavad different from Advaitavad? Answer. No. They are identical. There is absolutely no other explanation of Advaitavad except Mayavad. Next question. How is it possible for God, who is infinite, to be limited in form of man or has an avatar? Answer. It is true that God is infinite, but not in the sense in which you comprehend it. You have confounded your idea of infinite with the materialistic idea of vastness. When you say the God cannot take the form of man, you understand that a very, very large substance or form, has if material in nature, cannot be comprised into very, very small compass. God's infinitude refers to unlimitedness of the purely spiritual entity, and as such does not suffer in the least by existing itself in the human form. Next question. Some say first of all become a siddha, one who has realized the truth, and then you have the right of to karma or work for others. While others say that one should work for others even from the beginning. How can both these views be reconciled? Answer. You are confused, or you are confusing one thing with another. Karma means either service to humanity or preaching. To real preach, to real preach, no doubt none has right except the Siddha Purush. That is one who has realized the truth. But to service, everyone has the right, and not only so, but everyone is under the obligation to serve others as long as he is accepting service from the others. Next, Yog Vairagya Tapasya Love. Question. Does yoga serve to keep the body in its full health and vitality? Answer. It does. It staves off diseases, has objectification of one's own body is difficult. It is very effective in regard to others. Fruit and milk are the best food for yogis. Next question. Is the attainment of bliss synchronous? Is the attainment of bliss synchronous with that of vairagya? Answer. The first step is vairagya is very painful. When perfected, it yields supreme bliss. What is tapas? Tapas is threefold of body, of speech, and of mind. The first, service of others. The second, truthfulness. And third, control and concentration. Next question. Why do we not see that some or same consciousness pervades the ant as well as a perfect sage? Answer. Realizing the unity of this manifestation is a question of time only. Next question. Is preaching possible without gaining perfection? Answer. No. May the Lord grant that all the sannyasis or all the sannyasin disciples of my master and of myself be perfected so that they may be fit for missionary works. Next question. Is the divine majestic expression in the universal form of Sri Krishna in Gita superior to the expression of love unattained with other attributes embodied in the form of Sri Krishna, for instance, in his relation with gopis? Answer. The feeling of love unattained with the idea of divinity is respect to the personal loved or to the person loved is assuredly inferior to the expression of divine majesty. If it were only so, all lovers of the flesh would have obtained freedom. Next, in answer to Nivedita, first question. I cannot remember what parts Prithvi Rai and Chanda disguised himself to play when they determined to attend the Swayamvara at Kannauj. Answer. Both went as ministerials. Next question. Also did Prithviraj determine to marry Shakun Samyukta? Also did Prithviraj determine to marry Sanyukta partly because she was the daughter of his rivalry party and partly for the fame of her great beauty? Did he tend Did he then send a woman servant to obtain the post of her maid? And did this old nurse set herself to make the princess fall in love with Prithviraj? Answer. They have fallen in love with each other, hearing deeds and beauty and seeing portrait. Falling in love through portrait is an old Indian game. Next question. How did Krishna come to be brought up amongst the shepherd? Answer. His father had a flea with the baby to save it from the Tyrian council, who ordered all the babies, male, from that year to be killed, as through prophecy, as through prophecy, he was afraid one of them would be Krishna and betrothed him. He kept Krishna's father and mother in prison, who were his cousins also, for fear of their prophecy. Next question. How did this part of his life terminate? Answer. He came with his brother Baldeva and Nanda, his foster father, invited by the tyrant of the festival. The tyrant had plotted his destruction. He killed the tyrant, and instead of taking the throne, placed the nearest heir on it. Himself, he never took any fruit of action. Next question. Can you give me any dramatic incident of this period? Answer. This period is full of miracles. He was a baby. He has a baby who was once naughty, and the cowherd's mother tried to tie him with his or with her churning string, and found she could not bind him with all the string she had. Then her eyes opened, and she saw that she was going to bind him who had the whole universe in his body. She began to pray and tremble. Themselves the Lord touched her, and with his Maya she saw only the child. Brahma, the chief god, disbelieving that the Lord had become a cowherd, stole one day all the cows and cowherd boys, put them to sleep in the cave. When he came back, he found the same boys and cow round Krishna. Again he stole the new lot and hid them away. He came back and he saw there the same again. Then his eyes opened and began to see numerous worlds and heavens and Brahmans by the thousands, one greater than the preceding, in the body of the Lord. He danced on the serpent Kalia, who had been poisoning the water of Yamuna, and he held up the mountain Govardhan in defense of Indra, whose worship he had forbidden, and who, in revenge, wanted to kill all the people of Vraja by deluge of rain. They were all shepherds. By Krishna's under the hill Govardhan, by Krishna under the hill Govardhan, which he upheld with the fingers on their head. He, from the childhood, was against snake worship and Indra worship. He was against snake worship and Indra worship. Indra is the Vedic ritual. Indra worship is the Vedic ritual. Throughout, throughout the Gita, he is not in favorable of Vedic rituals. This is a period of his love to gopis. He was 11 years of age. Next, Guru Avatar Yog Jap Seva. Next question. How can Vedant be realized? Answer. By hearing, reflecting and meditating. Hearing must take place from the Sadguru. Even if one is not a regular disciple but is a fit aspirant and hears the Sadguru's words, he is liberated. Next question. Who is Sadguru? Answer. A Sadguru is one on whom the spiritual power has descended by Guru Parampara, or an unbroken chain of discipleship. To play the role of spiritual teacher, it is very difficult thing. One has to take on someone or oneself the sins of others. There is every chance of the fall in less advanced men. If merely physical pain ensues, then he should consider himself fortunate. Next question. Cannot the spiritual teacher make the aspirant fit? Answer. An avatar can, not an ordinary guru. Next question. Is there no easy way to liberation? There is no royal road to geometry, except for those who have been fortunate enough to come in contact with an avatar. Paramhamsa Dev used to say, one who is having his last birth shall somehow or other see me. Next question. Is not yoke the easy path to that? Answer jokingly. You have said well, I see. Yoke an easy path. If your mind be not pure, you try to follow yoga. You will perhaps attain some supernatural powers, but that will be hindrance. Therefore, purity of mind is the first thing necessary. Next question. How can this be attained? By good work. Good work is two kinds, positive and negative. Do not steal, that is negative. Mandate. And do good to others is positive one. Next question. Should not doing good to others be performed in the higher stages? For it performed for if performed in the lower stage, it may bind one to the world. Answer. It should be performed in the first stage. One who has any desire at first gets deluded and becomes bound, but not others. Gradually, it will become very natural. Next question. So, last night you said, if you in you is everything. Now, if I want to be like Vishnu, shall I have to meditate on the form also or only on the idea? Answer. According to the capacity, one may follow either way. Next question. What is the means of realization? Second answer. The Guru is the means of realization. There is no knowledge without a Guru. Next question. Some say that there is no necessity of practicing meditation in the worship room. How far it is true? Answer. Those who have already realized the Lord's presence may not require it, but for others it is necessary. One, however, should go beyond the form and meditate on the personal aspect of God. For no one or no form can grant liberty. You may be all worldly, you may get worldly prosperity from the sight of the form. One who one who ministers to his mother, one who ministers to his mother succeeds in this world. One who worships his father goes to heaven, but the worshipper of sadhu, holy man, gets knowledge and devotion. Next question. What is the meaning of kshanam iha sajjana sangati rekha, etc. Even a moment's association with the holy ones serves to make or to take one beyond this relative existence? Answer. A fit person coming in the contact with the true sadhu attains to liberation. True sadhu are very rare, but their influence is such that the greater as such that the great writer has said, hypocrisy is the tribute which vice pays to virtues. But the avatars are Kapala Mochanas. Kapala Mochanas, that is, they can alter the doom of people. They can store the whole world. The least dangerous and the best form of worship is worshipping man. One who has got the idea of Brahman in the man has realized it in the whole universe. Monas- monasticism, monasticism and the households life are both good according to different circumstances. Knowledge is the only thing necessary. Next question. Where should one meditate, inside the body or outside it? Should the mind be withdrawn inside or held outside? Answer. We should try to meditate inside. As for the mind being here and or there, it will take a long time before we reach the mental plane. Now, our struggle is with the body. When one acquires a perfect steadiness in the posture, then and then alone one begins to struggle with the mind. Asan, that is the posture, been conquered. One's limbs remain motionless and one can sit as long as one pleases. Next question. Sometimes one gets tired of japa, repetition of mantras. Should one continue it or read some good books instead? Answer. One gets tired of japa for two reasons. Sometimes one's brain is fatigued. Sometimes it is a result of idleness. If the former, then one should give up japa for the time being, for persistence in it. At the same time, and at the same time, the results in the same hallucination or in lunacy, etc. But if the later, the mind should be forced to continue japa. Next question. Sometimes sitting at japa, one gets joy at first, but then one seems to be disinclined to continue the japa owing to that joy. Because, or should it be continued then? Answer. Yes, that joy is a hindrance of the spiritual practices. Its name being rasavadana, that is tasting of tasting of the sweetness. One must realize or one must rise among it. Next question. Is it good to practice japa for a long time? Though the mind may be wandering. Answer. Yes. As some people break a wild horse by always keeping his seat on his back. Next question. You have written in your Bhakti Yoga that if a weak bodied man tries to practice yoga, a tremendous reaction comes. Then what to do? Answer. What fear if you die? In the attempt to realize the self, man is not afraid of dying for the sake of learning and many other things. And why should you fear to die for religion? Next question. Can Jiva Seva, service to beings alone, give mukti? Answer. Jiva Seva can give mukti not directly but indirectly through the purification of mind. But if you wish to do a thing properly, you must not or you must for the time being think that is all sufficient. The danger in any sect is want of zeal. There must be controversy, nishtha, or there will be no growth. At present, it has become necessary to lay stress on karma. Next question. What does or what should be our motive in the world? Motive in the work, compassion, or any other motive? Answer. Doing good to others out of compassion is good, but the seva or service of all beings in the spirit of Lord is better. Next question. What is the efficiency of prayer? Answer: by praying one subtile's powers are easily composed. What is the efficiency of prayers? Answer: by prayers one subtile's power are easily rose, and if consciously done, all desires may be fulfilled by it, but done unconsciously, one perhaps in 10 is fulfilled. Such prayer, however, is selfish and should therefore be discarded. Next question: how to recognize God when he has assumed a human form? Answer: one who can alter the doom of people in the Lord. No sadhu, no sadhu, however advanced, can calm this unique position. I do not see anything or anyone who realizes Ramakrishna and God. I do not see anyone who realizes Ramakrishna as God. So, we sometimes feel it hazily that it all or that is all. To realize Him as God and yet we attach to the world is inconsistence. To realize Him as the God and yet to attach to the world is inconsistent. Is inconsistent.